It's the summer of 2013 in hot Saigon. And at this point, I've been living in Saigon for a year at this point. And I've been working with the top nightclubs. I've been sponsored by the biggest brands. I mean, I am rising to the top, you hear me? And I'm getting opportunities left and right. I've set up a new office for myself downtown in Ho Chi Minh City. I mean, I'm living the dream right now. I'm on track to do some great things. And then, of course, white supremacy has to stick up their fucking head and tear everything down. Let's go into this story right now. My first year in Vietnam, one of the biggest contracts I got was with Kakao Talk. Kakao Talk is a very famous app in Korea, similar to WhatsApp or Line. And so basically, they sponsored me to be the brand ambassador for their launch in Saigon. And so, as their brand ambassador, as their head MC, they hired me as a talent to lead a charge and set up events for them to do activations in Saigon. So basically, we will put together events, and at these events at all these different top bars and clubs in the city, we would get people to sign up and download the app. So boom, that's the activation, right? And then when they activate their account, there's special codes and things that we use that we can put them into lucky draws, even to win things at that very night at the event, right? They gave us a lot of OEM type products, pillows and helmets and all kinds of stuff, bracelets and T-shirts and stuff that we would give out for free. And then we had grand prizes that we're giving away. We're giving away motorbikes. We're giving away iPhones, the newest iPhone at that time, which I think was a 6 or something. And so that's what we did, and it was very, very successful until somehow white supremacy got involved. There was this one guy named Andrew. I don't remember Andrew's last name, couldn't find him. This is a long time ago, guys. But I'm bringing up the story because I'm laying the groundwork so you can see the repetitive racist tactics that they use. And this was the first one that they've used. And I think this is the first time in my life I've ever experienced something on this level. So let's just fast forward. The events were great. I'm on stage. I'm rocking it. I'm working with celebrities. I'm working with models, top models of Vietnam. I mean, the events is great, right? Activations is soaring. They got hundreds of thousands of people to sign up. So fast forward, it comes to the point at the end of the events. It was a series of 10 events, right? And at the end of the series, now it's time for the company to pay. It's time for Kakao to pay the company, our company, and then pay the staff, right? And so Kakao Talk, for whatever reason, comes up with a reason to delay the payment. Now, if anyone who's lived in Saigon long enough, you would know that getting money from large companies, especially for events and in the entertainment industry like this, sometimes it's like pulling teeth. And sometimes it's delayed. I've had monies delayed to me for years. You understand what I'm saying? So, and there's no really legal course to go about it because unlike America, the States, and see, in America, I can take a contract, I can take it down to the local court. If it's a big corporation, I can file it. I can file an actual lawsuit with an attorney. But if it's a small case, I don't remember the numbers, but it's something like under $5,000, and you can go to a small courts claim, and then they would handle small things. Of course, this is a big thing. It's a $25,000 contract, and they're reneging on paying, right? Kakao Talk is reneging on paying the final monies that we need to pay all of the staff. Of course, they paid deposits, which was used to pay for supplies and materials, transportation, printing, all kinds of things that we had to pay for. Marketing, advertising. We were doing everything. We would organize the events, and we would do the marketing of the events, what brought out for people, right? Which would pack out the place. So the bars and nightclubs, they won because they got customers. You know, we held the events, and they got the sales from the event. They got the branding of their brand being part of a big brand and a big brand launch. So it was a win-win for everybody, except for when it was time for Kakao Talk to pay. And so the white supremacist Andrew took this as an opportunity to attack me, of course. So he decided to go to Facebook and create a Facebook page and a Facebook group. And it was something like titled, Brian Doesn't Pay His Staff. Or Brian and Mike, the company, the event company, like I told you, I had an office in downtown. So he decided to name my name personally as the MC and my event company, Party Life Saigon, as the perpetrators. Meanwhile, this white fucker Andrew was, I don't even know what the fuck, he was like he worked in the marketing center. I think he was helping with copywriting. I really don't know what he did or even why he was there. He was so insignificant that at the end it was like, why the fuck did I hire this white boy? You know what I'm saying? Like, he was so insignificant and useless and not needed. He was brought in by another black guy who worked with me, and he was like my assistant manager. I don't fucking remember his name either. Again, guys, this is a long time ago. But the reason why this is in 2013, I'm recording this right now in 2024. Okay, so you're talking about 11 years later. And the reason why I'm making a recording of this right now is because these white supremacist fuckers are still using that old smear campaign from 11 years ago. This is how much they hate losing, right? Because they thought that would destroy me. So let me just keep this on a steady path, right? So Andrew creates these pages, right, and these Facebook groups to get all of the staff, the Vietnamese staff, to turn against me, and of course to make. And these white people, they also know that Asians will believe the words of a white male, even though he might be telling a complete lie, over the words of a black male, even though he might be telling the truth, because of society and the racism that they created throughout the entire world. See, they run everything. That's why it's called white supremacy. So they only put out negative images in Asia about black people. So black people, when they see black people, they think, oh, either murderer, he's a rapist, he's a pimp, drug dealer, all these things, or drug user, or any type of negative stereotype. They know that is the perception that Asians already have. So if you say anything about a black person, you can say something. I could be a fucking priest or something, and you could just say anything, and they know that the Asians will automatically believe it because the person that they're talking about is a black person. Which goes back to what word that I spoke about, demonization. See, demonization is a societal disease that has been placed on black people globally. So that demonization is not just a one-trick pony. This happened way before me. This happens before my experiences. You understand? So this demonization is in society. It's within the fabric of society. Again, what did I say is the purpose of white supremacy? Go back to part number 1, right? Their purpose is to attack the economy of black males. They don't want black males to be successful. They don't want black males to earn money. It's just that plain and simple. Okay, when you boil everything down, just come back to the lowest common denominator, which I've laid out for you, and you will see the truth. So he created these groups, this smear campaign. Brian's not paying. Brian's not paying. Brian's not paying. So now I'm a black male, so everybody's believing that I'm not paying. When in fact, It's actually the company Kakao Talk that is not paying. That is the reason that's holding up the salary payments for, I don't know, I think it's like 50 people at the time. It was maybe like 30 staff, maybe 60, 70. So it was maybe like 25, 30 was staff. It was senior people, about 4 or 5 people, kind of like event managers, people like leading stuff. And then you have the talents. So you had DJs, singers, other MCs, and rappers, etc., models. So we got to pay all these people, you understand? So they're not paying. These people are also mad. They're not receiving their money, which they deserve for their work. And this white guy uses the opportunity to turn it on me. Not turn it on the company, not turn it on the corporation that owes the money, but to turn it on the black male who's the brand ambassador. Not the multi-million-dollar company who has the bread to pay it. No, he wants to turn it all on me. So, all right, so it goes almost like a month. So it's a month of this smear campaign. So by this time, everybody knows what's going on in the community, right? And that's the effect. That's what they want. They want everybody in the community to know and to look down on the black male. So I lose contracts, I lose business, not so much, because my calendar is still full, but I'm still losing opportunities, right? They still have some effect, right? So a month in, meanwhile, I'm going back and forth and fighting this smear campaign, showing proof. Finally, I get the staff to understand and realize my point, because they're not receiving any money. So at this point, the anger and all of the racist vitriol kind of comes to a point where, hey, you're not getting money. You're fighting me and it's not working because I ain't the one with the money. It's like trying to get money, what they say, try to get blood out of a turnip. It ain't working. So at a certain point, they realize that fighting me doesn't work. Yeah. And then I say, okay, all right, guys, do you want your money? Do you want to get paid? Okay, then instead of joining the white man in his crusade, in his racist crusade against the black man, join me, join the dark side, right?
Join me, and I will complete your training.
Join Darth Vader, and let's get your money. So finally, I was able to turn the staff and their energy, and we focused it on the company. I gave them the HR and accounting department of the company. And guess who? All the staff, they called the company directly, and they confirmed everything that I said was true. The company couldn't deny it. They said, yes, we are holding the money. Because they wanted to. They basically were delaying it, and that's what companies do. A lot of companies delay payments. Let me cut in real quick here. This is part of a strategy too. So, in Vietnam, bank rates are amazing. All right, compared to America, that gives you like 0.1% or some crazy shit like that. 0.01 or something. In Vietnam, you can get like 6% on your money. So a lot of companies, they will delay payment, especially on big projects, big money, things like this. Get the money, put it in an account, get your 6%, and then after you got some earnings on the money, then payouts. Then do the payouts, right? So FYI, that's a strategy. Financially kind of makes sense, but it sucks for the people on the other end, right? So that's pretty much what I believe what they were doing. They had the money sitting there, they were in an account, and they went through a liquidation phase, right? So the liquidation phase, they totally broke the contract, right? Totally broke the contract. They go through the liquidation phase, and at the end of our battle with them, we had to go in and have meetings with them. Had to go in with my business partner at the time, and we're in the boardroom. We're fighting because we're having some really heated arguments because we're really upset that they're broken their contract. Because they haven't made the payment in the time that the contract states. It's literally the payment was supposed to be made days before the last event. That's part of the contracts, right? Those, to prevent things like this, right? So they completely just broke the contract, and we're upset because A couple reasons I'm upset. One, my people haven't been paid, right? And number two, it has opened a door for white racist supremacists to smear my name publicly. Their name not being smeared, so that's why the pressure wasn't really on them. It wasn't on them at all. Since all the pressure was being put on the black man, who's not the multi-million-dollar company, they were living on easy street because nobody was pressuring them. Nobody was putting their name out there in the public. They were saying it was like a company strike, but the employees wasn't striking the company. They were striking the senior manager. Like, what? It's like, what the, how, have you ever seen that before in your life? That's stupid as hell. The company is the one that owes you the money, not the senior manager. Can you imagine that people, who are they? They were, let me see. There was a boycott on Amazon or something recently. Can you imagine that instead of saying Amazon, treat us fairly as a company, they target Susan in HR. Susan don't make the fucking company decisions. What the fuck? Like, that's stupid as hell. So anyway, they did the staff did wake up to their senses, as I put out there. But that was what the white supremacist game plan was. That's what his game plan was to do, is to tear me down, to try to tear me down. There are people still to this day who still believe that that's true. About that what Andrew said is true. That I was withholding the money, that I was withholding salary from the staff. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. So at the end of the day, we finalized the liquidation. And the company, this is how they fucked me again. So they first fucked me with the delayed payment, causing my name to be put out there. Then they liquidated the contract. They broke the contract twice, and they took out 25% of the final liquidation amount. 25%. So that means I had to cough up over $5,000-$6,000 out of my own pocket to pay the staff. Whoa, people don't talk about that. Oh, nobody ever brings up that part. Oh, so you mean, Brian, to tell me that Kakao Talk fucked you over? They delayed payment by, I think, 2 or 3 months at the end of the day, and then robbed you of $5,000-$6,000 that was supposed to go to the staff, and so you had to pay the staff out of your own money? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But these white people will never talk about that. And you know what? I paid that money. I paid the staff. I paid like a big chunk of it. That $5,000-$6,000 that came out of my own pocket. I paid the staff out of my own money. And these white people would never ever bring that up. They will never bring up the resolution. The only thing they're talking about to this very day, is about the problem and still putting my name in it as if I'm the cause of it. They never tell the truth. They never tell the whole truth, especially. They will just see, oh, you're here. It's like a crime scene. It's like, goddamn. It's like a crime scene, and I was just running through the park, and look, the black man there. That's an actual fucking story, actually, by the way. What did they call that? The Furious Six or some shit? The black kids in New York back in the 80s or something, that Donald Trump put a newspaper article. Look that up. That's actually a real story. How white people blame black people for crimes that they did not do. Yeah, that's the actual thing. I'm gonna put it up here. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna put it on the screen. So, following the liquidation, I have to pay the staff out of all of the shows and gigs that I have around town. And did you know that these white supremacists were still attacking me? Still trying to stop me from making money? Trying to stop me from paying the staff. Bro, this shit it gets weird. It gets fucking crazy. Hold up. So, let me get this right. The company, Kakao Talk, doesn't pay. You start a smear campaign, you racist pieces of shit. You want to blame me. Finally, the staff, I get the staff to turn around. You're mad because I got the staff to turn around and turn on your ass. Then, we get the shit finalized. We only get part of the final money. And now I have to pay out of my own pocket slowly. So, from every show, gig, I got to pay that out. And so you actually don't want the staff to get paid. You want to, they continued their smear campaign. And in my next story, I'm going to go into the second incident and go and dive into that. But this is what they do. The white people didn't want the Vietnamese staff to get paid because they wanted the opportunity to continue to smear my name. So when it's all over, they have nothing to say. Paid, staff not getting paid. Who, nigga? Because after everybody's paid, what do you have to say? Nothing. And so that's the first attack. That's how they first attacked me. They're all up 1-1. So look, let's take notes here. Let's recap. You got a racist white supremacist who infiltrates your organization with the purpose of not helping and contributing at all, but to sabotage, to come watch, take notes, and report back to whoever the fuck he was working with to come back in and sabotage. Who knows? Who knows if this motherfucker wasn't working behind the scenes and he's the purpose of the delay? Who knows if he wasn't going back and saying shit to the company, right? And trying to find things. You know how white people are on jobs, right? You know, they'll go to your boss, they'll go to the HR, try to snitch on you. If you were late, they'll be like, oh, see, Brian was late and he didn't get the banner up in time. You know, shit like that. You understand? Who knows if this fucker, most likely he was, right? Come on, these are evil people. They're probably going all out behind the scenes, right? So who knows if that wasn't the reason why all this shit was stirred up in the first place, right? From the get-go. Most likely that is what the case was, right? So this is white supremacy. So that's the recap. They infiltrate your infrastructure. They get up all in your business. They try to find ways, any weaknesses or holes that they can exploit, right? And then they go to social media. I see they use Facebook a lot. They use Facebook and go into the communities to target people and try to get people who may do business with you to stop doing business with you. Again, targeting your economics, right? And not talking about the company. And every time they do it, they don't bring up the company. They bring up my name personally. So you know it's personal. It's just like if you had a problem. It's like if you order some food from the restaurant, and let's say there's some hair in the food. All right. Let's break. Let me go over this real quick. Let's say you do order food from a restaurant. Giving you an example, and there's some hair in the food, right? Normal humans, in that case, immediately you're like, oh, what the hell? You're gonna take a picture or video, and you're gonna call that restaurant right away. Let's say it's delivered to your home. You're gonna call that restaurant right away. Say, hey, I found hair in my food. And what is the company gonna do? The company, if there's a good company, they're gonna resolve the issue, right? You present a problem, and the company's gonna try to produce a solution. They're gonna say, I'm so sorry to hear about that. That is horrific. That is terrible. That never happened, sir. It must have been it's a really bad mistake. We're gonna send somebody out. They're gonna send a whole new dish to you free of charge and refund your money, or they're gonna give you a voucher for your next order or refund your money at that point. They're gonna do something, right, to fix the problem. And let's say a person who doesn't do a fair thing to do, a fair way to treat a company. Let's say they're the type of person who goes to Facebook first, right? Oh my God, look at this, there's hair in my food. Oh my God, right? They're those type of people. Well, those type of people, when they do that, they name the company. They go, hey, this company didn't pay XY, or this company had hair in my food. But when it comes to black people, it's never like that. It's always this black guy did this, at this company, at this, at. It's always reverted back to the black individual. It's never the company, right? That's another tactic that they use. They attack the black individual. They always go after, because that's the purpose. That's the intent, right? That's their intent. Their intention is always evil against a black human being. And so, I just want to add, that issue was resolved very nicely. And when we made the payments in a certain way. So out of the entire, let's say the entire group that needed to be paid, let's say there's 70 people, we created a list. The manager who was working with me at the time, I think her name was V, really awesome person. She helped me to organize everything into a single document. We got everybody into a group, and just a one chat group. Hey, this is the payment group, and we're gonna start making payments. And we went one by one, and we worked as a team to pay the staff that needed the money the most first. You understand what I mean? There's some staff members, maybe they live with their parents, or their parents are really well off. They're fine. They can wait, for a few weeks. And we paid off, the students that had, more financial difficulties first. That, they needed to pay rent, or they needed to pay college tuition. They needed money for food. So we decided to make the payments that way, in that order, based on need. And everybody got paid at the end of the day. So all the staff who, really turned vitriol, they actually ended up coming back to me and apologizing for the evil, nasty words that they did say, because they believed the white man. They believed that white man was telling the truth. They really thought that I was robbing them or stealing from them, that these white people were telling the truth, that I was withholding their salary on purpose, intentionally. Or that I had the money. This is what he was telling. He was telling that I had the money and I was holding. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I think anybody naturally may respond that way. You understand? But the purpose of this recording is I hope that people will use intelligence for the future. Stop using racism as your way of living your life. It doesn't actually help you, right? So, it doesn't help you. Use intelligence, ask questions, and come to conclusions based on the facts, and not racism, not stereotypes, and not your emotions, but based on the actual facts of what's going on. So they did come back to apologize, and I was really thankful for that, because for me, that felt like the white supremacists didn't win at the end of the day. That's what I felt like. And so, and that's where it was. But that wasn't it, because white supremacists, they hate losing. But the thing is, let me speak directly to the white supremacists here for a moment. Motherfucker, you gonna always lose to me. Yeah, you may come and sabotage and work behind the scenes like the cowards that you are. You may always try to make me unsuccessful, but motherfucker, there's nothing you can do that will stop me from fulfilling my calling in my life. My calling comes from a greater place that you don't control. You don't control me. You don't control my destiny. You don't control my future, motherfucker. And here's your final warning. If you try it again, there won't be no glossing over. Look at this, 11 years later, and I'm only bringing it up because you fuckers brought it up on the internet, on Facebook recently. That's the only reason why I'm bringing this back up. And to prove, and to lay out my story, to prove that you fuckers are the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. You are the most evil, dumb motherfuckers on the planet. And I'm gonna prove it. And so, that's part one. Part two, we're gonna go deep into this. And I'm gonna show you how evil these people can be. Stay tuned.